Okay, good morning again. Jürgen already introduced me. Well, we basically know each other for the last 4 or 5 days, so I just wanted to add on what has already been said. Except being assistant minister, I was also director of regional development agency in Croatia. Where I was also engaged in lots of preparation of projects, implementation of projects of various sizes, from very small to millions of euros and US dollars. I also initiated setting up of technology and innovation center in my county, which is now very successful. They filled all incubation spaces and are moving forward with new investments. Designed a concept for urban regeneration of ex-military barracks. Lots of buildings that were just sitting there and falling apart. If you don't use spaces, they will fall apart. So basically we tried to think about what and how to give them new purpose. So we created a concept which is called Knowledge Center. Knowledge Center because we thought, and we still, and I personally am a huge believer that the investment in people is the best possible investment you can have. Also, I established 2 local energy agencies in Croatia, one in my county, and the second one was established in one other county around the city of Rijeka, which has a huge port, and okay, it's a very interesting development there also today. I was also president of the supervisory board of Business Innovation Center of Croatia, and member of supervisory board of National Regional Development Agency, also in Croatia. Among my responsibilities as assistant minister, it's not only that I was in charge for programming, basically the portfolio of 11 billion euros that the European Commission allocated to Croatia. It had to be programmed, it had to be planned. What amount goes in which sector, which includes environment, transport, human resources, competitiveness, innovation, social issues, education, I mean, you name it, everything, literally everything. Also, well, this was particularly tough for me, but I hope you will understand, I'm sure you will understand why. I was in charge for coordination of Croatian participation in European semester. Now, what is European semester? That's basically broad alignment of all European economic policies of all European member states. It's all about reforms, and reforms are very political issue. You cannot really run reforms unless you have political consensus. You cannot change governance structures if you all agree to do it. So I was basically in a very tight spot to push for implementation of very delicate, very politically sensitive issues, which was, and I'm not a member of any party, I never was. I was always trying to do my job on a professional basis. So I participated also in preparation of lots of national strategic documents, including National Innovation Strategy, Smart Specialization Strategy, Regional Development Strategy, contributed also to Transport Strategy, National Transport Strategy. So, and there is one very important point I would like to make, because Croatia is far from perfect in this sense. We have sectoral strategy, and not all of them, to be perfectly honest, we are missing some very important ones. But the problem is not that you miss strategy. The problem is that those that you have are not convergent, they are not aligned. They do not create synergies. Transport goes in one direction, environment goes in the other direction. So what you have is basically a clash between institutions about jurisdiction, about what needs to be done, about how much money is going to be spent. You're basically in a situation that you cannot invest in resources, in people and institutions that are necessary to implement. And at the end of the day, it's about implementation. Political level provides leadership, direction, but institutions actually perform and deliver what political decisions on a national or city level, how they are determined. So we've been talking a lot about urban development these past days, and I think it was very informative and quite deep so far. What I would like to do now is put some more let's say, put this in even broader context. I think it's very important because what you're dealing here with, and I think you already are aware of that, there are many ingredients that you have to integrate and weave into a concept, into a big project, or even a program like Nairobi Railway City. It's going to be lots of projects there, beside the major ones that you already have in your plans. The things will evolve, and you will have new ideas, new initiatives. You will have to improve, you will have to add value to some particular aspects of projects. You will have to involve other people with time, of course. And please consider all of this with a certain time progression. It's developments that will take 15, 20 years. Some of this will happen sooner, some of that will simply continue, but the most important thing is to push and to, well, never give up. You've seen also a Swedish example. They've been developing here like 30, 35 years, certain parts of infrastructure, and they are still working on it. So this is a reality, and this is how it is. Development is a very long-term process, and has to be understood like that. In that way you can plan better, in that way you can explain better what your targets are and how you will achieve them. One Croatian experience also is that our politicians actually built a lot of expectations. So people expected quick results for something that's not going to happen in 2 or 3 years. This creates a lot of tension. This creates pressure on politicians to do something, but it's impossible to do it quickly. So they make mistakes, so they make wrong decisions. So they go for quick wins where they cannot be quick wins. Quick wins are always possible, but you have to be very careful about it. Because wrong step at the wrong time can be very, very painful. It's sometimes very difficult to remedy what you did wrong before. So what I will try to do is basically definitely not to tell you what to do, but simply to discuss whether you could also have a bit, to open up a discussion about what the trends globally are, and are there opportunities for it in this global context and environment? I'm sure there are, because there are opportunities for everybody there. I will try to build on that. So, okay. This is just a starting slide which basically builds on recent global economic crisis. The main thing is that it brought up many questions to the surface. How economy works, whether are we doing it the right way? Do we have to change something?